you're talking about Jesus, he's a friend of mine. If you're talking about Jesus, oh, he's a friend of mine. There's a man on the river giving sight to the blind. There's a man on the river. Oh, he's giving sight to the blind.
My name all the same.
If you're talking about Jesus, he's a friend of mine. If you're talking about Jesus, oh, he's a friend of mine. There's a man on the river giving sight to the blind. There's a man on the river. Oh, he's giving sight to the blind.
My name all the same. Me and 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 my name.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this your man Kodak, the most hated, coming to you live from the Retro Philosophy Show, where I always listen to my man, 50 Grand, Pastor Retro. You know what it is.
Follow him. You don't know. Boom.
Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, we got my boy Nick, aka the Road Runner, because he gets on the road and make it run. The road be running from him, you know. But not too long ago, we all got together and we rode the four corners of Ohio. And so we want to officially present him with his Ohio Four Corners patch, making it do what it do.
Yeah, I got mine in. Who next? Who next?
That's it. Hashtag who got next. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, it's your boy Retro Man, and I'm here with my man Mo Gas. And he just finished knocking out the NC Four Corners just a few days ago, last week, couple weeks, been a couple weeks. And so since, you know, we try our best not to put him in the mail, so we were finally able to get up today, and we're presenting him with the NC Four Corners patch, as you can see, bada boom, bada bang. Mr. Mo Gas, we appreciate you for supporting the movement.
Yes, sir.
And that there, bro, is for you.
Absolutely. Thank you. It's
Yes,
my
sir.
pleasure,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sure.
So, anything you want to share about the ride? Were there any highs, lows, excitement points, or anything like that?
Wasn't as easy as I thought it was.
Okay.
It wasn't just highway.
Okay. Yeah.
When you get on it, you know, just be ready for the mountains.
Be ready for the mountains.
Be ready for the
Yeah,
mountains.
yeah,
Don't sleep on the mountains.
Yeah, they make you dig in there.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, it's your boy Retro. Let you know that registration for Mission 448 is open. You can register today and ride the four corners of your state or multiple states. Who's going to be the first to collect the four corners of each of the lower 48 states? Hashtag Who's Got Next. Register today and ride the four corners of your state.
the same.
He's a healer.
Me and my name are the same. Me and my name are the same.
Everybody say,
Yes, indeed. Good morning, everybody, including Lottie Dottie. You already know what it is. It's your boy Retro with you on today. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. God is good all the time, man, and all the time He's good. We're just grateful for another day in the land of the living, giving Him the best that we got. And I just want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that today is the day that He has made, and you have the opportunity to get out here and take control of such day, and make it a great day on top of that. Anybody else believe that on today? I happen to be a firm believer, amen, that we do have the power to orchestrate and to direct our day. Now, with that being said, that does not mean that it will not be challenged. In other words, it is a true statement, but sometimes before your foot hits the flow, you will be challenged and you will be tried to reduce to a place of stress, strain, and the list goes on and on and on. But just because you're being fought, that does not mean that you do not possess the ability to turn it and cause it to work for your good. So I just want to put that out there. Now, real quickly, today we're just going to touch this up and we're going to revisit this conversation at a later date, possibly even have some, some other people to join us on the live to discuss this, because this is something that a lot of people are dealing with, and some people don't know that they're dealing with it. Some people are hiding the fact that they're dealing with it, and then it spirals out of control sometimes. I made a statement the other day, and that statement was simply this. I made the statement that sometimes we've got to deal with issues so that they do not become problems. Okay, we must deal with issues so they do not become problems. Today, we're talking about dealing with depression, fighting depression, and overcoming depression. Okay. Yeah. So, bada boom, bada bang. All right. So I don't know if you're watching, and hold on one second. Let me see where my people.
I don't mean to brag, but my videos are enjoyed by well over 4 people worldwide.
Okay, let's make some noise for the 4 and no more. Of course, I am on much earlier than I normally am, and this more than likely will not be a regular thing at this particular time, but you'll catch the replay, and when you do, make sure you holler at us in the comment section. Let us know what time you tuned in. Matter of fact, that's what I would like you to do. If you're watching the replay, in the comment section, let me know exactly what time it is that you tuned in. That way, that will help me adjust accordingly. It will help me see where is the best time to go live. I think at least it would help. Okay, so if you're watching this, let me know what time you're watching it, okay, and where you're watching from. Depression is a serious thing, and there's no way I would get up here on this morning and make light of it and joke about it, because I myself have personally dealt with it. And here's the thing about depression, and again, I'm no clinical expert or anything of that nature. So I'm speaking from my own experience and my own perspectives and my own understanding. Okay. The thing about depression is sometimes it takes you a while to even realize what you are actually dealing with. You might just think you're just being agitated or irritated, or just feeling funky, or just not yourself, and so on and so forth. And the sad thing about not really knowing what you're dealing with, not being able to properly identify what you're dealing with, you can't address it accordingly. And so here's what some people do. Some people, they go and get a little drink, they go get a little smoke, they go get a little sex, they go get a little bike, because people do all kinds of things when they're going through different things, dealing with different things. But here's one of the things that I want to talk about, and I would love your commentary as well. Now, let's just say I'm dealing with depression, and I have, and I resort to a particular thing. There are some people who they ride to fight depression and PTSD and whatever else like that, whatever PTSD. But here's the thing. For me, that's not what I do. When I get on my motorcycle, now I do so for enjoyment. This might sound a little oxymoronish, but hear me out, okay? If I twist my throttle to fight depression, then my motorcycle becomes a part of the whole depression thing. No, sir, no, ma'am, we're not going to do that. When I ride my motorcycle, I do it, like I said, for enjoyment. I do it for enjoyment, and not to fight depression. Now, I have come to the conclusion that, and I believe this may apply to other things other than just depression, because different people are dealing with different things. And so there are two things I think we must identify in whatever it is that we're dealing with. And those are, number one, triggers, and number two, stressors. Now, a trigger is something that sends you off the edge, for lack of better explanation, okay? When you are triggered, as soon as it happens, as soon as you experience it, as soon as you see it, or whatever the case may be, boom, that's it. You've been triggered, and now you just blah, 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 Stressors are a little different. Stressors are the things that lead you to the point of losing it. And so when we experience stressors, then we know we're not yet at the edge. So the other day I had a situation. This morning I had a situation. I have situations, guys. And not a trigger. Well, the other day was a trigger. Today it was a stressor. And Monday I had a stressor. Monday, I almost identified the stressor as a trigger. And I'm not going to say I begin to spiral. See, again, some people are not honest enough to talk about what it is that they deal with. Okay. And the old folk, you say, tell the truth and shame the devil. I believe in that, guys. I believe sometimes you got to tell the truth and shame the devil. Now, when you're telling the truth to shame the devil, be careful who you tell your truth to, because you might be telling your truth to the devil, giving him a stick to beat you with, to add fuel to fire, to make situations even worse. However, the stressor, I begin to spiral. It just began to happen. And most of the day on Monday, this is my Monday. This is my therapy. Okay. I'm on my own couch. Okay. So y'all just pray for me, bear with me. And so I began to spiral, and I felt feelings that I hadn't felt in a while as it related to depression and dealing with it. And they were very familiar, and I didn't like it, nor did I want it. So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Dealing with depression, fighting depression, and overcoming depression. Now, when you are dealing with depression, it's there, okay? Whether it's sprung on you or whatever the case may be, it's there, okay? And you have to deal with it, okay? Don't trick yourself into thinking, if I just sit here, it will go away. If I just say nothing, it will disappear. No, it will not disappear, and it will not go away until you deal with it. Now, dealing with it may look different for different people depending on what your situation or circumstance may be. Okay. For one, dealing with it may be, facing it head on. For another one, dealing with it may be, setting up stronger boundaries, perimeters, safe places. I don't know what you're dealing with it is going to look like. All right. Dealing with it may be strengthening yourself. Maybe you need to go get some self-help books. Maybe you need to take some me time. I don't know what you're dealing with it is going to look like, but it will not go away until you deal with it. Depression is like a bully of sorts. It is not the bully that taunts you per se. But it's the bully that's always there to manipulate you, to rob you, and things of that nature. It's the kind of bully that doesn't necessarily do it on the playground, but it'll do it at the bus stop before you even get to school. Nobody's around but you and him, so nobody knows it's happening. But there's that bully taking your lunch money, taking your Nikes, whatever the case may be. That's how depression is, in my opinion. That's how I explain depression. That's what depression looks like. And so you've got to deal with it. Now, otherwise it'll never go away. It'll never go away. Sometimes all that bully needs is to know you're not going to take it any longer. And so you have to sometimes learn to.
All my life I had to fight. I had to fight my daddy. I had to fight my uncles.
And sometimes we begin to ask the question, well, how long do I have to fight? And I don't know. I don't know. I dealt with a bout of depression, and it was way longer than I thought it would ever be. Certainly longer than I wanted it to be. And I think for me, it was because, I didn't initially know what it was. Sometimes depression will show up and it will blame you. I often say the devil will give you a thought, make you think you thought the thought, then condemn you for thinking you thought the thought. And that's how depression works. You are in a situation, whether it be mentally, emotionally, or otherwise, you're there. Okay. And then depression will turn around and condemn you for being in a place that you didn't even place yourself in. And then it's just like a triple, double, triple whammy. You know what I mean? And so you begin to try to deal with one aspect of it, but that aspect is almost like you're in one of those mirror mazes, and you think that's the way out, and bam, that's another glass. And so it's crazy. So we've got to deal with it. And then we get to a place where we begin to fight it. Okay. Yeah. We deal with it. And as we deal with it, we begin to understand what it is. We begin to understand how it works. See, some of us, we try to fight before we know what we're fighting. And so in a situation like that, you could potentially be pushing people away who you're going to need. You think you're fighting depression, but you're just fighting. You're not fighting depression. You're fighting, and you're helping the depression. Because, somebody might say, hey, what's going on, bro? You good, man? Yo, you snap out of it, or something like that. And now you look at them crazy because, they're telling you what you need to do, but you don't really want to hear what they're saying. And so you begin to fight them, push them away. And now you find yourself by yourself because folks who want to help you, they really can't help you because you're so combative, you're so easily offended, and then what happens is sometimes you end up in a place where you're comfortable with your depression because you know how to maneuver through the depression. At 6 o'clock you're gonna crash out with the bonbons and Twizzlers, and so you got a whole supply of bonbons and Twizzlers because you know that you're gonna crash out. And so you begin to shop in a way to sustain your state of depression. Your whole closet looks depressing. All black. You need some color in your life. Anyway. So what we do sometimes is we begin to fight, but we begin to fight before we understand what it is that we're dealing with. Sometimes you've got to get to a place where you learn to articulate what you're feeling and what you're going through, so that not only the people around you can understand, but you yourself can understand. It's something about speaking it out verbally. It's just something about that. Yeah. And so the Bible talks about writing the vision and making it plain. And I think that one way that we can extract, or one way we could look at that scripture, is you've got to write it, but you got to make it plain by speaking it. Yeah. Okay. So let me move on. So, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, once we have dealt with it, okay, now here's how you deal with it. Let me say this. I'm not afraid of you. I see you for what you are. I see what's going on. And now that I see you for what you are, and I know what it is, now I know exactly how to fight you. Yeah. Somebody say, depression, you've got to come down. Yeah. Depression, you've got to come down. And so now that you are no longer afraid of it, or may I say it this way, now that you are no longer embarrassed of the fact that you are dealing with depression. See, I can be dealing with something, but not the thing that I'm dealing with. I can be dealing with depression, but not depressed. But if you do not deal with it, and if you do not fight, you will eventually become depressed. Yeah. And I don't know if anybody wants to hang around someone who is depressed. Now, I can work with you if you're dealing with it, because if you're dealing with it, you're trying to figure it out. I can deal with you if you're fighting with it because you haven't given up to it. But when you get to a place where you are not dealing with depression and you're not fighting depression, but you are depressed, it's going to be hard. You say, well, Retro, that's not fair. Well, check this out. The moment you do this, you lift your hand. Now, let's say you are literally depressed, but that hand goes up. That's a sign that you're ready to fight again. That's a sign that you're ready to deal with this again. Until you are ready to deal with the depression, it's going to be difficult for anybody to help you. That's all I got to say. And so for me, I was in a dark place for a long time, folks. For a long time. I still smiled. I still did my show. I still did this. I still preached. I still did. But I was in a dark place. I would do the things that I needed to do. See, it's easy to do what you're called to do. You're called to do it. You're anointed to do it. But that doesn't mean you don't have to deal with the demons. That doesn't mean you don't have to deal with the pressures and the, in the wee hours of the night, early in the morning, in the midst of the day. I think when I lost my dad, when I lost my dad, I don't know, something happened. It did. And right, wrong, or indifferent. And I believe I was dealing with it before that. I really do. But when I lost my dad, it was just one of those things. It was just too much. Like they say, it was the straw that broke the camel's back, kind of a thing. And I found myself some days no longer fighting, just drifting and spiraling. I had a situation to occur when I almost crashed out. I was still preaching, pastoring, doing the Retro Philosophy show. And the devil is a very shrewd individual. And had it not been for the grace of God, I would have crashed out. I was already putting the seatbelt on, the knee pads. I was getting ready to crash out, guys. True story. Some may know and most don't. And this is why we must be extremely careful how we deal with and handle people. Because you don't know where they are at that particular time in life. They're still smiling. They still look soft. They still look easy. They still look this, that, and the other. But you don't know what they're dealing with. And I was in that place. And I had subscribed to the Crash Out. I did. Something snapped. And for me, I think it was the acknowledging for myself personally. I know what happened, and I'll tell you what happened. I went home for some event, okay, and Pastor David Eady, I was at his church that Sunday morning. As a matter of fact, I was there on a job assignment. I was helping my brother-in-law out with a big job he had up in Rhode Island for the whole month of October. That's what happened. And so we were there. My son and I flew up there, and we gave him the whole month. Shout out to Troy. Cool brother. Every morning we'd get up and we'd ride from Springfield to Rhode Island. And we worked together the whole day together. On the way back, we was just in all kind of deep conversation and, just candid conversations and, and so it was a breaking of the monotony, if you will. It was a change up of so many things. And sometimes when you are dealing with and fighting depression, you got to get out of your normal routine, because sometimes your normal routine just keeps you bound. And so it came to a head on this particular Sunday morning. I believe it was my last weekend there. I was getting ready to fly back home, and I was in church on Sunday afternoon at Victory Point, and Pastor Edie called me up to the altar after the service, and he began to pray for me and prophesy and speak into me, and he said something that I will never forget. And he did something that I will forever appreciate. He says to me, he says, "You've poured into vessels all your life," and I'm not speaking word for word, but he gave the analogy, and because he was one of the vessels that I poured into, and so many others, and he says, "But now it's time for those vessels to pour back into you." Oh, God. And for me, and I don't know why I'm being so transparent this morning. I need to get off of this thing here. But for me, one of the things that allowed me to slip into this state initially was the fact that you do so much and it goes unappreciated. Okay, for me, that was a stressor that eventually pushed me to a place where it was what it was. He then calls up every young person in that church, and before you know it, they were all surrounding and embracing me, and something broke that day. That was the beginning of me. It was the equivalent of the man of God telling David to get out of the cave of Adullam and get to Judah. It was the equivalent. And if you don't know the story of David in the cave of Adullam, look it up, check it out. And so I get back home and things were different. It was a different air I was breathing. It was different. It was not complete, but it had begun. And so it was that day where things begin to turn, where things begin to break, and so I will forever be grateful for men and women of God who are obedient to the Spirit of God, and do what He is calling and telling them to do. So anyway, we've got to deal with it, we've got to fight it, and we've got to overcome it. I don't know where you are in your walk with what it is that you're dealing with. For you, it might not be depression, maybe it's addiction. And there are so many types of addiction, okay? Some people are addicted to drugs, alcohol, sex, porn. Some people are addicted to church. Some people are addicted to lying, stealing, The list goes on and on and on. Some people are addicted to accolades, and they've got to have it, And whatever it is that you are dealing with, number one, you've got to deal with it. You got to come to grips that it is what it is. And if you cannot come to grips, then you always have to deal with it. And when I say deal with it, and deal with two different deals. You can deal with it, come to grips, be honest, hey, look, this is what it is. Or you can deal with it in terms of keep on having to, okay, let me say it this way. Either you deal with it or you be slave to it. Let me put it that way. I think that's the best way to put it. And depression it's an ugly monster. It is. And I've seen people who are extremely talented and gifted fall subject to depression. And a lot of times people who are extremely gifted and talented, they also deal with, people always want to use them, take advantage of them, not appreciate them. This is what gifted people deal with. If you are gifted, you tell me if I'm lying. If you are a gifted individual, do you have people often take advantage of you? Do you have people who always want what you have but never have nothing to give to you? If you are gifted and extremely talented, have you ever experienced these things? And if your answer is yes, my next question will be, do you deal with depression? And let me say this. If you see it coming, you can fight it before you have to deal with it. But if you don't see it coming, you got to deal with it before you can fight it. Does that make sense? See, some people are blessed enough to have, people in their circles. They are blessed enough to have seen it secondhand or whatever. So when it shows up on their doorstep, they already see it from a mile away. So they say, oh, no, we're not going to do this. No, sir. So they fight it before they ever have to deal with it because they were able to identify it. But if you can't identify it, then you're going to have to deal with it so that you can then fight it. And Kushites, us black folk, one thing we don't do is we don't, let me say it this way and be kind. We don't utilize the medical field as we should, whether it be the, psychiatrists, across the board. I think it applies across the board. But I ain't going to no shrink. I'm gonna get me some weed. I'm gonna go me some liquor. I'm gonna go out on the town and just, live my best life. I'll be all right. No, you ain't either. No, you ain't, because you're not dealing with it. You're masking it. You're hiding it. You're medicating it. Improperly, might I add. And so you're not dealing with it. You're masking it. You're hiding it. And in some cases, you're making it worse. You're making it worse. Do you know what your triggers are? Do you know what your stressors are? Do you even know whether or not there's a difference between the triggers and the stressors? I'm not one for always claiming things, because death and life is in the power of the tongue. But if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and acts like a duck, by golly, you got a duck on your hands. I'm just trying to tell you. You quack, quack, you got a duck. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, I just want to hop on for a quick moment. And we may revisit this at another time and talk about it in depth, especially if someone who wants to share their testimony or their story. If that's you, let me know in the comment section, and we'd love to have you on and talk about this thing, because the reality is it looks different in the lives of different people. It looks different, and But nevertheless, it is something that we need to address. Dealing with depression, fighting depression, and overcoming depression. I think as it relates to overcoming depression, you know, you once you get to that place where you've dealt with it and you fought it and you're back to a healthy state of mind, a healthy place. Now, to overcome it, you've got to set proper boundaries. You know, you need some safe words, you know, you have something, you know, so that way when it comes back, there's no place for it. Yeah. When it comes back, it hits the booby trap before it even gets to the house. Bada boom, bada bang, exploded. You know, because I do believe it's something that can be overcome. You can overcome it. I think we can overcome. Let me say this to you. If he brings us to it, he can bring us through it. Now the tricky thing is, or the caveat maybe I should say is, some stuff he didn't bring us to, we ran into it on our own. Yeah. But even still, if we cast our cares upon him, come on now, because he cares for us, so we can cast all our cares upon him. And so that's why I said earlier, if you ain't lifting that hand, you're not gonna get the help that you need. You gotta say, whoa. Sometimes you gotta say, whoa, it's me. You know, don't blame yourself. Don't blame them. It just is what it is. Lord, just help me get out of this thing. Because if you are in a state of depression and you continue to blame Ray and Shay and Nay and whoever else, that's not good. We can never be healed with our hand on the poison. And we won't be healed. Soon as he heals your body, your hand's still connected to the source of the poison. And it contaminates the whole body. So don't point the finger at them or yourself. It just is what it is. Y'all remember the song? Who was it? Was it Angie? It wasn't Angie Stone. I don't remember who sang it, but how did we get here? Yeah, how did we get here? At this point, that's not the focus. We need to find out how we're gonna get out of here. We deal with the navigator later, the GPS later, you know. But right now, we don't need to be spending time trying to figure out how we got here. We need to figure out how we're gonna get out of here. And then make sure we mark the road on the way out, so we know not to go back down that road. How you gonna date Johnny and Johnny showed you all these flags, and then you go date Bobby with the same flags and expect to get a different outcome? Come on now. Once you get away from the first one, you mark all them red flags as priority things to, you know, stay away from. You know, because you can't. Okay, once we get out of that place, come on now, mark that road so that you never go back down it. There are some conversations that you just ought not participate in, because you know it's going to take you there. You ever heard change the subject? Yeah. Sometimes you got to just change the subject, because even though it's not a trigger, it could be a stressor that eventually will get you to the place where you are not just triggered, but you implode. Not explode, implode. There's a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, it is your boy Retro with you, man. I'm a do something the devil won't do, and I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm gonna do something the devil won't do, and I'm gonna leave you alone. But please know and understand, man, just because you are dealing with it doesn't mean you have to succumb to it. I need a witness up in the building on this morning. Yeah, deal with it, fight it, and overcome it. I am not what I'm going through. I am not what I've gone through. Come on, somebody. I'm bigger, I'm better, I'm greater. Why? Because I'm created in this image and in this likeness. Listen to me, folks. K Solo in the building, ladies and gentlemen, watching from YouTube. Thank you, sir. again, man, we've got to realize that this thing is real. I don't care who you are, you know, we are all going to go through some things. You know, we are all going to go through something. And when you find yourself going through it, that is not the time, ladies and gentlemen, to sit there wondering and worrying about what they gonna say. Because folk gonna talk anyway. You gain weight, they say you're fat. You lose weight, they say you on crack. You know, you cut your hair, they say you going bald. They gonna talk. You cannot please all the people all the time. Good morning, sir. Thank you for tuning in on this morning. Was able to tune into your show on last night and enjoyed the portion that I was able to take in as I was going down the road. And that brother had a story to tell. My goodness. So if you guys hadn't checked it out, man, go back and check it out. K Solo the Rider on YouTube, Facebook, and I'm sure he's on other social media platforms as well. Dealing with it, fighting it, and overcoming. And I'm gonna leave you on this point. Don't be ashamed of what you're going through. If you're going through it, that in and of itself is part of the blessing, because you could be stuck in the middle. Yeah, you could be stuck in the middle. I have dealt with it, guys, and I refuse to get back to that place that I was, in that dark place that nobody knew about. No, it's a dangerous place. It's an ugly place. It's a lonely place. It's not a godly place. And along this road from earth to glory, there will be more times and more situations and more circumstances that will say, come over here, Retro. And I'm going to say, no, I ain't going. Keep your eyes on the prize, ladies and gentlemen. If you're dealing with something, deal with it. But don't succumb to it. All right. You're bigger than that. You're better than that. You're greater than that. All right. If I don't stop now, we're going to go off into a whole nother 45 minutes. I got to get going. My mother, I asked that you guys keep her in your prayers today. She's going in for her second knee surgery. So those of you who know the words of prayer, keep her lifted on today. I'm getting ready to go boogie so I can get her to her appointment. She's going in today, and they're going to do what they do. They did the other one. She came through with flying colors, healed in record time. And so I'm going to go find a pair of roller skates and buy her some roller skates, because as soon as she come out of the recovery room, I'm going to put them roller skates on her and we're going to go roller skating. That's our joke. I always tease her about them roller skates. So I've got a jam-packed day today. You can join us later on this afternoon at 7 o'clock for our midweek Bible study. We're going to be talking about some good stuff. We probably sprinkle in some of this as well, because you have some people who will try to shout over depression and shout through depression. And you know, I tell you, church folk can be something else. Everything is not spiritual, guys. Everything is not spiritual, and everything shouldn't be spiritualized, if you follow what I'm saying. Okay, there are some things in life, just like the scripture tells us, if you think your brother has an ought with you, leave your gift at the altar, the spiritual things, and first go be reconciled with your brother. Natural things. It ain't say nothing about a revival. It ain't say nothing about fasting and praying. It says leave your gift at the altar and go get it right with your brother. Then you come back and do your spiritual thing. Then you come back and offer your gift unto me. God don't even want our gift if we run around here mad with our brothers and sisters. That's the word, guys. God is love. And if you say you got God in your heart, I ain't say you was a preacher, elder, evangelist, a minister. I ain't say you was none of that. But if you say you got God in your heart, then we got to love each other. And you know what? We really got to love the hell out of each other. Because sometimes hell, the Bible says that wickedness whelmeth up in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction driveth it out. So I say that to say this. Sometimes hell can rise up in us, because that's the old man. And it'll rise up in us. And you know what we do? We don't match energy. We love the hell out of people. We love it right back out. Because my mama used to tell me, I'm going to do a mama said segment. I'm going to have to. But my mama used to tell me, it takes two to tango, baby. It takes two to tango. You look real foolish sitting there arguing with yourself. And so what we do is we turn the other cheek. I read a post today. I think it was today, But anyway, matter of fact, I said it on Sunday because we was talking about some relationship stuff and everything. And, my wife go to argue with me. I'm going to just grab her and kiss her, because sometimes you just got to love the hell out of people. Let me get out of here, man. Real talk, seriously speaking, guys. We've got to love each other. We too old to do it any other way. I ain't trying to fight you, no, I ain't trying to do that. I can't hit my Karate Kid kick as accurate as I used to, so I'm getting older. My legs don't get up as high, I try to kick you and throw my back out, no, sir, we're not gonna fight. I got too much to live for. I ain't afraid to die, but I got too much to live for. So even though I look good in orange, I ain't trying to wear an orange jumpsuit for nobody. You understand what I'm saying? So instead, I'm going to resort to love. I will decrease if I need to do so and get out your way and let you fight by yourself. Let you fuss and cuss by yourself. I will remove myself, because that in and of itself can be a stressor and or a trigger. See, that's why some things we got to leave alone, because it'll push us into a place of darkness. It'll push us into a place of no return. I love the Lord the way I love the Lord. Not because I'm scared of nobody, but because I'm scared of me. I can't afford to risk it because I know who I am. And the point of no return is a real thing. So I'm going to stay over here, as Slim said. Slim and the Supreme Angels. Let me see if I can find Slim real quick. He told the folk, he said, I'm gonna stay under the blood where the world can do me no harm. Yeah, that's what Slim said, y'all. Y'all better listen to him. I'm gonna stay right there. I know I'm gonna be copywritten, but that's okay. It's worth it. It's worth it. I'm gonna leave you on that note, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna stay where I'm at, under the blood, covered by the blood of Jesus Christ. He keeps me every single day. Y'all be blessed, man. We see you on the next go round.
Everybody say, me and my name are the same. 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 Me and my name are the same.
He's the healer.
Me and my name are the same. 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 Me and my name